The Federal Reserve is set to announce another interest rate hike this afternoon. They say today's hike will be a smaller half-point increase. Today with us, we have Will Luther, an economist from Florida Atlantic University, to help us kind of break down what interest rate hikes mean for all of us. So good morning. Thank you so much for being with us. I'm going to jump right in if that's okay. You know, today's hike could be one of the smaller ones that we've seen this year, but the fact that we've seen several has a lot of people concerned. So what does this one mean?
Well, there are really two things to look for in today's meeting. First is the size of the rate hike, and as you said, Fed officials have been projecting that that's going to be around 50 basis points. The bigger thing in my mind, though, is what Fed officials call the terminal rate, which is how high it's ultimately going to raise rates throughout 2023. So previously in September, they had said maybe 4.5 to 4.75 would be the range they're ultimately aiming at. But today it seems likely that they're going to increase that range, probably something above 5%. And so that's really the thing to look for.
You know, the Fed's decision comes after someone called a promising report yesterday. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Absolutely. So if you look back to September when the Fed made its last projections for that terminal rate, we've gotten 3 inflation reports since then. The first one, not so good. But the second and third, including the one that just came out yesterday, much more promising. It looks like core inflation is finally starting to come down. It's still very high. CPI core inflation was 6% last month. So still much higher than the Fed would like, but fortunately much lower than it has been in the reports over the last year.
And so this is going to be the last hike of this year, but you were indicating there could be more hikes coming in the new year, likely. How soon into the new year?
Well, so the Fed officials will update their projections for 2023, 2024, 2025, and thereafter with their release today. But their last release in September suggested that rates would be higher in 2023. And Powell indicated in the last meeting that we should expect that they will be even higher than were projected in September. Of course, there's a chance that changes. The Fed is data dependent, and we have gotten to better inflation reports since that September projection. But it looks likely that rates will be higher in 2023 before the Fed starts bringing them back down in 2024, 2025, and thereafter.
Can you talk a little bit about what the Fed is actually watching to show that these rate hikes are working or not working? What is it that's helping them make these projections?
Well, the Fed's primary focus right now is inflation. When normal folks like you and I think about interest rates going up, we think, wow, we're going to be paying a lot more if we have an adjustable rate mortgage or if we're looking to finance a vehicle, and none of that sounds good.
Correct.
But the thing to keep in mind is the choice that Fed officials face at the moment is really whether we're going to have temporarily higher interest rates or permanently higher interest rates. If the Fed were to allow inflation to remain high, inflation expectations would become unanchored. People would expect higher inflation in the future, and that would actually cause interest rates to rise permanently. We want to avoid that. And the way to avoid that is to allow those interest rates to rise temporarily, bringing inflation back down, and then ultimately bringing those longer term interest rates back down. And so that's the trade-off we really face. And we don't really want those high interest rates today, but we would much rather have them than have permanently higher interest rates well into the future.
Absolutely. Really good information. Thanks for laying it out for us as we, again, are projecting to get that higher interest rate later on today. Thank you for being with us. All of this information, we're going to actually post this interview if you want to watch it again on our website, WPBF.com.